Hello and welcome to Batcast 66, the podcast where we watch an episode of the Batman 66 television show each week or so and then talk about it. I'm your host, Scott, and unfortunately, our normal co host, the other half of my dynamic duo, Kendall, is not available to record for this episode, maybe the next couple. But I have probably the next best thing. I've got his wife, Kayla, with us.
Hello.
Kayla, welcome to the first regular episode of Batcast. You've been our special guest in our two holiday themed special episodes, I guess, for Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. This was a nice change of pace. We're
So,
gonna live a holiday theme, but
so is this the first? I know this isn't the first time you've watched like Adam West Batman because I know I've watched the movie with you. Was this your first time like watching the show?
no. So my dad watched this as a kid, and I remember when I was a kid, he would like have, reruns on TV, and just like memories of him just like cracking up, just so much
Yeah,
watching this show.
it's usually pretty funny.
Yeah.
What do you think of Cesar Romero as the Joker?
Oh man. I would say, okay, I was thinking about this. I was like, he's definitely a favorite, but in these two episodes, I was like, you know what? Robin's kind of my favorite.
Yeah. So I think Robin's Kendall's favorite, if I'm not mistaken.
He's just so.
So this week we're talking about episode 25, The Joker Trumps an Ace, um, written by Francis and Marion Cockrell, directed by Richard C. Serafian, and originally aired on 4/6/66. And my dog is very upset that I said the number of the beast. So I'm going to get out of the room real quick. All right, and I guess with that, we'll just kind of get into it. I guess I'll do Kendall's normal job of going through the episode here. So we start out and at the fur coat factory or whatever they're at.
Yeah, like not a
Yeah,
store.
yeah. And your friendly neighborhood holdup man is holding them all up, trying to steal fur coats. Um, And of course, it's revealed to be the Joker, and his goons pull out a bunch of guns and surround all the rich people and just gun them down, and they're all dead.
You mean the elegant ladies and the doting husbands?
Yeah, exactly. They're doting on them ladies. No, they don't actually shoot them down. They shoot them with ropes, and they're tied up.
And confetti.
Yeah. And then Joker steals all the bobby pins out of Mrs. Belmont's. Like, the only reason I can remember their name is because of Castlevania. And I think there's a Belmont Street in Philadelphia.
Yeah, we actually live pretty close to it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say that and dox you.
Oh, forget that I said that. Bleep it out.
um, and then we cut back to Commissioner Gordon's office, where we find out that Joker has stolen one of the hulls from a golf course as well.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
didn't conceptually like understand that. Like I didn't know that you could take those things out of the ground.
Oh yeah. You can take them out in case you need to like do like certain maintenance and stuff. Did you
Interesting.
think he just dug a hole around the hole?
I thought it was like, okay, what Jokerism is this? Like, is this you know, a riddle or something?
Um, I mean that's the Riddler's thing, all
Oh,
right.
you're right. I'm so sorry. Oh my
Joker
God.
makes
Kick,
jokes.
just kick me
Uh,
off right now.
But of course, Commissioner Gordon can't make heads or tails of stealing a bobby pin and the hole, which is really just the cup. I wish they called it that, not the hole, because at a certain point they say it so often, and then we don't see it. I'm like, did he actually just cut out the hole out of one of
Yeah.
the?
I think I would have liked that better if they were just carting around a large chunk of dirt that had
Yeah,
just the hole in it.
but they just can't deal with it, so they have to call in Batman and or Robin. And Batman's torturing Robin by making himself a jigsaw puzzle that's upside down, so you can't
No,
see.
I thought that was really cute. I
Yeah.
love the idea of them just like casually putting a puzzle together, like together.
Dude, like every episode when they get called in, they're like casually doing something like kind of wholesome and weird.
What, like what? Give me some
Or
examples.
like they're like bird watching, or they're like learning French.
Aw.
It's stuff that's not necessarily gonna, like, this has no bearing on, like, they don't solve like a puzzle to like figure out the Joker's plan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Although
they're like,
he did,
yeah.
I forget, he said something about like putting the puzzle together upside down was like a good exercise for.
It makes sense because you have to like use more deductive reasoning than just like
Yeah.
putting a picture together. Like you have to look at shapes and how things go together.
Yeah.
I think there's probably better training exercises he could be doing, but you know, they usually need to do something cute together here.
I love it. It's my
But
favorite
anyway,
part.
they're called into action, and then we get our stock footage. It's probably your first time seeing it in a long time of them driving the Batmobile to
Oh yeah.
headquarters, where
Um,
they find that the Joker has just recently left them some sort of gift.
always.
Yeah. So they unwrap it, and then it's a gift inside of it. So it's like a double wrap job. Anyway, Batman opens it up, which is really funny because like he's just using a pair of scissors to like cut through this stuff, but he makes Robin use the bat shield, which I think is the second time we've seen it now.
Yeah. And
Like,
where did they pull it out of?
Their utility belts, duh.
There's no way that fit in the utility belt.
Like every time they use them, like this wouldn't really be that effective, but I guess it's not too different from like a SWAT shield.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the 60s, so it's not as good as it is it would be now.
And there's like hinges in it, so you're just like, it's really.
Yeah, it folds up and it doesn't really like connect. It kind of flops apart at the bottom.
But like, I will say that as silly as some of the utility belt items are, I really appreciate how much detail goes into like making everything like a nice packaged, you know.
Everything's like bat branded.
Exactly. And like even his little blade was like painted his like signature yellow and stuff like that. It's just really, it's really nicely done and
Yeah,
labeled because I need that.
the set and prop designs in the show is actually really good. I think.
Oh, it's so good.
I think they're highly underrated. Like, Kendall and I have made fun of it throughout the series, so like our rewatch so far, but like I legitimately love how everything's like labeled.
Me too.
Like, everywhere, and like it's kind of like it's that level of like silly and corny that I really like.
It's good because sometimes you don't know what they're doing, and then you're like, oh, they're at the metal authenticator machine. I know exactly.
It's the metal analyzer.
That's it.
They also use the hyperspectrographic analyzer.
Of course they do.
A couple episodes ago, they used like an intergalactic thing. I'm like, do they not understand how like insane like intergalactic distances? Because this was 1966. We weren't even on the moon yet. Like,
right? Why doesn't NASA have that?
Yeah. Anyway, it turns out it's a Jack in the Box that inflates a giant man that Batman just pops and like it's harmless. But there's like a tape recording in there where like Joker gives him, basically does the Riddler thing there where he gives him like a joke that is a clue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was kind of a bad one. Something about a goldfish.
Yeah, it was stupid.
And it was just like so many leaps to get to the answer.
Because the answer is the visiting Maharaja of Nimpa is in town and is going to go golfing with his solid gold jewel encrusted clubs.
Right.
With and the mayor like tomorrow or whatever.
Gold in the word goldfish, and that's how they knew.
Yeah, but like I guess because he stole a golf hole.
I guess. But oh wait, we find out what the bobby pin is for later. The hair.
Yeah, we find out what's for later. Yeah. It's so dumb.
So far, it's a lot of reaching.
Yeah. Now, granted, this does lead to scenes of the Joker and Batman running around a golf course with like high society, and that's really, really funny to watch.
It is good.
Like these bright, colorful, like super characters.
Yeah, and they're just like, you know, rubbing elbows with the Ritz.
Well, because it's really funny, like, because Joker's like on top of like a forklift, like just I think he's supposed to be like hidden, but he's just like
He's
up in a tree on the golf course, and people are just walking around underneath.
and Batman and Robin walk literally underneath him.
Yeah, like yeah, but I love when Batman and Robin have to like interact with like regular people because they talk to Mr. Belmont, who's apparently runs the country club, or at least is a member there or something. He's like, oh, you can look here and see the whole golf course, and they're like, oh, because Robin's like, we need to be conspicuous too. I'm like, you guys should probably not dress like that then.
Yeah, right. They
But
should
I
have
love
gone
that Batman pulls out
in.
his batnoculars, and they're so small and bat shaped.
They're so small and bad shaped,
Yeah, but they're looking for hijinks. But
which
they
are
cast
above
them.
them.
They catch the Maharaja and his party though. They had just started playing a round of golf.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think of this guy?
All right. I mean, he's obviously the worst. Like, he says you can't. What did he tell the mayor? He was like, "You may not putt while I'm talking."
Yeah.
I feel like I pulled that like in the classroom a lot, where I'll be like, "Oh no, you can't be talking while I'm talking," but like really, I was done talking, so I'll just like pretend I had one more thing to say, and then be like, "You may talk now," and like pull
See,
a real Maharaja.
see, kids are really stupid. They'll just believe what you tell them to
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, you're just like, okay, and now you may talk. But no, he's like, I dare to say a bit of a racist stereotype.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but
I think Nimpa is supposed to be like like Nepal,
uh,
is my guess. So he's obviously like a pastiche. Like, and a
yeah,
Maharaja is like an Indian thing,
yeah,
like India, not Native American Indian.
right.
Um, so yeah, he's kind of yeah, but he's a
Not
big fat guy. I should point out he's played by the actor Dan Seymour, who they spell his name wrong in the credits.
great.
But apparently he played a lot of villains on the Superman TV show.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a DC connection there.
Okay, that's cool.
Uh, Sucks they didn't spell his name right, but
Well, yeah, but what are you gonna do?
it was 60 years ago almost. So
He's probably not alive. He's long dead.
hey, Burt Ward's still around.
That's true.
I think Julie Newmar is too.
Is that Catwoman?
Yeah, or one of the Catwomen.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Which Catwoman was your favorite?
Obviously, Eartha Kitt.
Okay, I was hoping you were gonna say that.
Come on.
I'm excited to get to her, but she's season 3, so we got a lot of show to
Yeah,
get.
you got a way to go.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Maharaja eventually gets his chance to putt, and when the ball goes in the hole, crazy yellow knockout gas comes spewing out and knocks everyone out. And then Joker's goons come and steal the golden clubs. So Batman and Robin go racing into the Batmobile to just chase them around the golf
Wait,
course.
you're missing the. I thought it was really funny when Robin turns to Batman. He's like, "They're stealing the Maharaja with a forklift."
Yeah, because that's after they start chasing them for that.
Yeah.
Because they see that they're forklifting him away because he's so big and fat.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
But Robin then points out like we should use the emergency bat turn to go save that guy, and then Batman's like, well, we can't use that because like the retro rockets would destroy the golf course for the next 100 yards around us. Once we got to think of the other golfers.
Yeah.
A man's getting kidnapped, but like that's part of why I like this Batman. He's so like wholesome and earnest.
Yeah, he's just really conscientious of like everybody.
Yeah. So they continue getting the original like getaway truck. Which what did it say on the side of it? It's like gay fellow getaways or something.
Fellow take you to the cleaners.
Yeah. Like gay fellows take you to the cleaners, which I guess gay fellows meant something else in the 60s. I assume it means like clowns.
Okay, so they're driving around.
Yeah. And I love this Batmobile, and like seeing it in weird locations is awesome.
Yes. And then when the truck seemingly disappears, right? and is replaced with the tiny van. I think that scene where the Batmobile is like approaching up on the miniature van is like really cool.
Yeah, it was there's not really a lot of shots like that in the show.
Yeah.
So sometimes when still they do cool things with the camera, it's really stands out and is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Totally.
this was kind of been like a moderately high budget show for the time. At least it's one of the first shows like with color. So I assume the cameras were relatively expensive. That's why I said like in color at the beginning of every episode.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the nature of it, like it's a lot of just the way TV was done. There's just a lot of flat shots and stuff. Like I compare this to Star Trek a lot because they ran the same years. They both were early color TV shows. So they have, and but they're both 60 shows, they have some of the same sensibilities.
Yeah.
But they're very different in like style and tone. But so yeah, they catch up to like a miniaturized version of that van. So they're like, did it shrink? It's clearly a toy, which is cool, but they made that. I'm surprised. I'm sure that's in some Bat fans collection somewhere.
Oh, totally.
But there's a note inside.
Well, Robin says, "Holy shrinkage," which was one of my favorites.
Yeah, in a different that could have a very different meaning in there.
Right.
Yeah, it makes some sort of joke about like trading the Maharaja for cats, and they have too many cats as it is.
Oh man.
I was like, what? Like this is like the worst Riddler stuff. Like I don't know why the Joker is doing it.
And I was like, is it gonna lead to Catwoman? Like, why are we talking about cats? But I agree with the sentiment of cats, and more cats. But
yeah. Yeah, how many are in your house right now?
Right now are 7 cats.
Yeah.
Cats, and more cats.
I thought they might mention Catwoman too, because even though she's only been in like one story so far, she has been mentioned outside of that, which is kind of cool. Like it's a little bit of world building. Like they mentioned her before she ever showed up.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's neat, because I'm not expecting a lot of continuity in the show. That's just not the show it is.
Yeah.
But they realize there's the abandoned oil refinery called Cats, and Cats. And like, oh, that's a great place for a lair.
But Scott, their slogan is "Fine Refiners," and I thought of you.
I thought of me too when I saw that. But apparently, like, they want them to figure out where their hideout is because the Joker and his gang have a trap set. And this is where we get introduced to this episode's henchwoman who's in love with Batman.
Okay, so I was like, who is this lady? So is she like, she's not been in this before?
Other than the Catwoman episode, every single gang has just a dame, a 60s babe.
And it just changes every time.
Yeah, and
this one's Jill.
They're always bad until they encounter Batman and Robin, and then they immediately fall in love.
Okay.
And then they end up trying, like, they usually betray the bad guy to save them, or like we shouldn't kill them, like, which happens in this.
Yeah.
And it's like my least favorite trope the show has.
Yeah.
Because it's every single time.
Well, and they make it seem, like, if you guys don't know, this is like the first time I've sat in. So I'm watching this totally out of continuity, and the way they introduce her makes her sound like she's been there, They
always do that.
It's real confusing.
It's really weird. Like, especially the Riddler always kind of seems like he always finds like a themed gang who usually are about like some sort of vermin. But then he just kind of like seems like he gets out of prison and just takes it over. Because like at least like I don't think Joker's guys are themed in this. Like, I don't know. They just kind of, there's just always goons, and it's really weird.
Yeah, the one goon was dressed like Mario. Straight.
Yeah. He's the one that said "Wild," right? Yeah.
I'm so glad you caught that.
Yeah. Because they're gonna, like, later they got Batman and Robin catching. He's like, Joker's not gonna, like, he's gonna give them a fighting chance to get out. It's like, we gotta kill him now. We owe it to the whole criminal underworld or whatever. I was like, that's really funny.
That was good.
But yeah, so they just start playing cards, and then Batman and Robin go sneaking in, all stealth-like, and they're gonna hit him with their batarangs. But oh no, there's a force field or something. But turns out it's all trick mirrors, and they get shot with like the rope guns or whatever.
Hmm.
You get all tied up, and that's when what's her name? The girl
Jill.
was her name Jill. I didn't catch her name,
Yes.
but that's when
Learn to
she's
me.
like, "Oh my god, he's beautiful.
I
We can't,
mean,
we
she's
can't
not
kill him."
wrong.
Yeah. Listen, Adam West in his prime was not a bad looking guy,
No, he's a handsome dude.
but this is like the 30th time I've seen this, and
It's Jill's first, okay, Scott?
yeah, like I said, it's my least favorite trope the show does, and the show has a lot of tropes. Um, so yeah, so they Joker gives Batman a fighting chance. He's going to put him in like some kind of tank, and it's going to drown them.
Hmm.
But if like they can hold their breath for an hour, he'll let them live. But he uses some sort of like ray gun that neutralizes all the gadgets and their utility belts. I'm like, that is a really powerful tool for these villains to have.
God, I know. And it's just, where are they getting this technology? And
Because
if
like
they can get this technology, they should be taking over things left and right.
I understand like to set up the death trap that the episode has to end in, they kind of need to like limit what Batman and Robin like have access to. They could have just taken their utility belts. They've done that in multiple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, fucking Joker did it in his first one and made his own version of the utility belt, and it was awesome. Like,
Where's that at? Like, yeah, like, did they destroy
yeah,
it at the end?
I assume it was confiscated, but I don't know why they didn't make another one.
You're right. If you have
But
the means.
but you know what I mean? Like that would have been like obviously they're not thinking about that. Like that's part of what we do on the show is overanalyze a 60-year-old television show for children.
Right. But
Because like as a kid, I would have been like, oh my god, he disabled all of the gadgets.
right. And it's just like they have to explain everything that's not actually happening so that because they can't show it, you're just like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. Got it.
But yeah, so much to his henchman's protests, Joker puts Batman and Robin in the trap, and then they realize it's like a smokestack that goes just straight up for 50 feet. Um, and it starts not filling with water but gas, and then there's like something like, yeah, but you can still drown in it. And I was like, all right. And then that's our cliffhanger.
Will they
Uh,
be okay?
yeah. I mean, so we'll get into final thoughts at the end of the second episode, how we usually do. But like, what did you think of this first one?
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like it's supposed to be like a Joker episode, but I really felt like the Joker was not the star. You know, he was pretty forgettable.
Yeah, I think this might be some of the most boring we've gotten in the show so
It
far.
was pretty boring, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it was just saying something because like some of the episodes I thought were I was not gonna like Zelda the Great and stuff. I was like, this is really good.
Hmm.
But it's a weird. It's just a dud that the Joker is like kind of got like not a great one. But sometimes the first halves are like and then they like pick up in the second half. So
That's true.
we'll see what we get into next week. So join us, same Batcast time, same Batcast channel.